Yo, what's up? Welcome to Armed with a Mind YouTube channel where we talk about books, movies, music, but mostly books. This is what I'll call a coffee and book talk. It's a new series. Hopefully you gotten to watch my vlog on tomorrow. One of the last books that I just got done reading. But I've been reading two other books, and instead of vlogging those, I want to talk about them. So grab some coffee, hang out. Let me know what books you're currently reading. Do you drink coffee? Are you into specialty coffee? Because I love specialty coffee. This is an Ice Chemex single origin Colombia that I made and sipping on that. But let's talk books. So one book that I just got done reading was The Fisherman by John Langan. He is a horror novelist. This is the first book I've read by him. I know he has, I think, one more book and a couple extra stories. This book was recommended from the YouTube channel Books Are Cool. Really love that dude's channel. If you don't follow him, do so. And he talked about how this is one of the top 5 books that he's read. So it intrigued me. I really like his channel. I really like the content and the book recommendations he puts out. So I went ahead and gave it a chance. I will say personally, I didn't love the book. I'll give it a 3.5 out of 5 stars. I didn't love the book, but I really liked the book, if that makes sense. So the book follows basically two guys. One of them who tells us the story. He has recently been widowed and he picks up fishing to, not drink away his life. And through that, one of his coworkers also loses his wife and his children, and he is widowed, and he invites him on a fishing trip. They then begin to fish and build a friendship, and through that, they decide to go on a bigger fishing trip to this special lake that one of them has heard about. And then this whole story ensues of this lake in this area is basically ridiculously haunted by the fishermen, and it ensues this crazy unraveling of a story of ghosts and ghouls and demons and an underworld, and it just gets really crazy. One of the crazy things is that, like, in first century religions, like, oceans and bodies of water are where, like, the depths of hell are, where, like, the evil lurks, and so the play on that is really, really cool. I will say the middle portion of the book is the part that I didn't necessarily love, where it gets into the horrorness of where they're going. I thought that was a little too, it dragged out too much. The story of the two friends, the two fishermen, what I really enjoyed. One of the themes in Tomorrow, and in The Fisherman that I really love is this story of, like, friendship and bond, that you can survive difficult things, you can be with each other through difficult things, and the need for that in our lives, right? Like, I mean, it's all over YouTube, all over social media, the epidemic of loneliness that we're facing. It's difficult for men to have friendships, and so it's been really cool to read these stories of friendship, and that is one of the aspects that I really did like about The Fisherman. These two guys that are just fishing, they're connecting, they're going through a difficult situation in life and losing their wives and losing their family, but yeah, they decide to go fishing, and then this crazier story ensues. Again, it was really cool. I love horror movies. Shout out Longlegs. Let me know if you want me to make a video on that. But yeah, Fisherman, 3 out of 5 stars. It's a good read. It's a fun read. I didn't love it, but I really liked it. Now on to another book that I really, really did enjoy is Small Mercies by Dennis Lane. Oh my gosh, I really, really, really liked this book. Shall I say loved this book? I give this book a 4.2 out of 5 stars. Small Mercies follows this poor local Boston woman named Mary. We are thrust into the craziness of Boston segregation, where students are being bused into other communities. The white students are half of them are going to be bused to a black school. Some of the black students are going to be bused into a white school. The tension that is rising in Boston during this time of segregation. And during that tension of this hot, crazy summer, Mary, her daughter, just kind of disappears and sort of runs away. And then she begins to do this sort of crusade around her community to find her daughter and what happened to her. And what we get in the book is this so sort of mafia mixed with racism, and the implications of all that, and how far is a mom willing to go to save and rescue her daughter. It is packed full of, it is so suspenseful and so action packed. The dialect, the Boston dialect, and the cussing, and just the story gets so rich and so good. I felt like I was in the story. I keep blanking on the movie with Leonardo DiCaprio, Martin Scorsese, Matt Damon, where they are in Boston.
The Departed.
And that is what this book felt like. I know Dennis Lane writes a lot in Boston. That's where he's from, so he always writes about that. I haven't read any of his other books, but I've seen Shutter Island and Gone Baby. Or Gone Girl, not Gone Baby, a different book. Mystic River. And this book is so good. The violence, one of the things that I think that maybe will be off-putting for some people is the racist language that Mary uses in her community, but it is so real. One of the things that I think movies that deal with racism, or books that deal with racism, one of the things that they lack in their story is to be able to see a person understand and filter through their racism. And one of the cool things about the book is we see Mary do that. She begins to process, wait a second, why am I so racist? Why do I hate these people? I don't understand them. They're going through a lot of the same things I'm going through. It gets pretty heavy in its racist language, but I think it's very real. And seeing her process that through the missing of her daughter, through the knocking on doors, through the segregation, through the busing protests and riots that she is even a part of. It is such a good book. There's so many layers of what's going on in that community, in that time, in her life, that she has to filter through on top of trying to find her daughter. And it gets so good, the level that she's willing to go through to find the truth about where her daughter is and what has happened. Highly, highly recommend the book. Please read the book. If you've read any of these two books, let me know in the comments down below. If you stuck around this far, shout out to you. Have a sip of coffee. Let me know if you've read any of these books. Are you into specialty coffee? That's what this channel is about. Coffee, books, movies, music, but mostly books. Let me know if there's any other book that you would recommend I read off of these two. I can't even talk. But yeah, really enjoyed these two books. Currently about halfway done with No Country for Old Men. The goal is by the end of the month to finish No Country for Old Men and at least start, if not finish, the road. My goal is to read all of Cormac McCarthy's books by the end of the year, as well as a couple other things. Loaded up the Kindle super hard. Do you like reading on Kindle versus actual books? We have a smaller house. I'm a dad of 3, and so there's 5 of us, and so I don't always buy physical books, and I love the accessibility and simplicity of the Kindle, and that I don't have to constantly books around. So that's why I read on my Kindle a lot. But yeah, let me know. This has been David from Armed with a Mind.